Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's real late on Hot 97, and my name is Peter Rosenberg, and I'm very excited. My man and Laura Stiles is here.
Oh, I'm up on a Sunday?
Thank you, Laura, for blessing us. Today, the album's already out. It's called The Good Fight. My man Oddisee is here. What up, O?
What's good, Peter? How are you, man?
How are you, man?
I'm awesome. Fresh off a flight from LA this morning.
And you have a show tonight.
At the Knitting Factory.
At the Knitting Factory.
Yeah.
Special Cinco de Mayo. Do you do anything special for Cinco de Mayo?
You know what? No, I'm not even there. I don't drink. You know, I don't do nothing. Bro, I stay in the house. If I'm not on the road, I stay in the house.
What do you do for fun, Oddisee?
What do I do for fun?
Yeah.
Like some lame thing. Like I go to museums.
Oh, that's not lame.
And
I respect that.
I cook dinner and I hang out with my homies. Mm-hmm. You know, like stuff like that. Like that's it.
So how do you guys know each other? Because you guys are real chummy. Same area, DC?
Yes, that's exactly how. We've known each other since I was like 20, since like 2000.
Something around 2000. Yeah, crazy story. You know, we was doing independent underground hip hop in the DMV area, which wasn't that popular back then. Before that, there wasn't this resurgence of Lupe Fiasco's, Wale's, etc. So that style was a very stark difference between everything else and what we was doing. Suddenly we hear this guy on the radio playing our type of music. So my homie Kev Brown says, "Who is that? We should go to the radio station and give him our music." We jumped in the car and went and knocked on the door and we said, "Hi, we're from here and we make the music that you play. Can you listen to ours?" And then that was all she wrote.
Yeah.
And you were just super open about it.
Yeah, I started playing Kev first. Kev just started giving me music. He was the first one really making it like somewhat complete music.
Yeah.
And then he brought along Oddisee and a guy named Sean Bourne. And then the rest kind of all fell in. And then over the years, this whole crew has put out a variety of music, and Oddisee is sort of the one who musically really kind of you would say jumped out on your own to a certain extent. I mean, you are your own entity at this point, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Why? What was? There was something different about you. You moved to the beat of your own drum. Like you're don't get me wrong, you always had love for everyone else and got love from everyone else, but at the same time, would you say that you're not a guy who's gonna wait for things to move? Like you're gonna do what you're gonna have to do to make music and live.
Are we doing this right now?
No, I'm not like trying to. That sound like an air out.
No.
Now I'm interested, and especially because he's turning like a few shades of red right now, like a little. Are you?
I got a tan.
No, I didn't mean that to sound like an air out.
No. Absolutely true. From jump, I knew I wanted to make a living from music and nothing else. And if anybody didn't share that sentiment, I kept it moving. If they did, they were moving with me. People who share that sentiment with me are in this room right now. Right. People who are not. Period. You know, like I want to make a living from music and nothing else. And anything I have to do so, you know. Well,
and so basically what we're saying is we were in a crew and everyone sort of had different styles and ways of moving, right? And there are some people who had incredible talent but didn't necessarily have the same attitude about how to move. And then there's some people who had the real attitude and the talent, but didn't have the ability. Like, for example, you take a guy like Camber. Our man Camber had kids from jump. He could not go all the way in because he's a responsible dad.
Real life circumstances, like Low Budget is an incredibly talented crew, but for real life circumstances, people had to put priorities first, and I'm not mad at that. I probably would have did the same thing.
So everyone goes about different things, and fortunately, just about everyone's happy and in a good place. Yeah. Ken Starr just put out an album.
Yeah.
How often you talk to Ken Starr?
Not as much as we used to, man. Like honestly, we known each other for a long time. I don't talk to anybody as much as I used to. You know, like the people I talk to the most is my partner at Mellow Music Group and my wife and my band.
Are you officially married yet?
I'm officially married.
When did you get officially married?
April 9th, bro. I know.
I thought you said you were engaged. I thought you said you were about to get married.
Those things happened.
It already happened.
Yeah.
Did you have a big wedding?
No. Big wedding will be in August in Morocco. We're gonna go back and visit her family. But
we
just had to get married here so she could be a permanent citizen.
And she's a French Moroccan.
She's
Moroccan French person.
She's Moroccan, but born and raised in Paris.
Born and raised in Paris. I'm guessing by this point, because I haven't seen her now in like a year or two, I'm guessing her English now is fully on fleek status.
You remember how it was before, right?
Yes.
She's flexing.
She's flexing now, right?
How
Now,
do
by the way, I thought she was good then. She was just shy. But now I know she's probably very good.
You have a thing, because you accused the girl of being having a resting bitch face, and she didn't even speak English.
See, but
remember?
the thing is, Oddissee's girl, even when she didn't speak English, didn't have a resting bitch face. She was shy, but she would let you know, like, oh, I don't speak very well.
Right.
She didn't want you to just think like I'm
By
sitting
the way,
here being silent.
she totally spoke well, but she
she did speak
French
well.
people are like that. Like they judge themselves harder than anyone else would judge them.
No, you know why? Because they're also judging everyone else. Because if you go to France and you speak some whack French,
she
they're
told
gonna
me those
crush you.
exact words. She told me those exact words. I was like, yo, we don't do that on this side.
Yeah, we think it's cute.
Yeah.
We think it's cute if you don't speak English well.
She
but in
thinks her
France,
accent's
you in
appalling.
Paris.
no, they will cook you.
Exactly.
So, let's talk about something that needs to be addressed, which is people out there. There's like this. It's so interesting when I tell people about your music, right?
Yeah.
If I put someone onto Oddisee who's not familiar,
Sure.
I have to like give them this speech about who you are. But then there's a whole area and like of music where people do know who you are and think
Yeah.
you're a genius.
Yeah.
What has not connected between the fact that you're able to be a viable musician who gets all this amazing accolades from certain places,
Yeah.
and yet your name has stayed out of other places? Like I look at all a lot of the major festivals, and
Yeah.
I would just think you would be an act at least early in the day on a lot of the major festivals.
Sure.
And I feel like some people have overlooked you. What do you
Sure.
think is the disconnect between the people who know who you are and the people who are still kind of sleeping?
I think the disconnect is a classic one. There's a certain type of person who seeks music, and there's a certain type of person who's spoon-fed music. And if you're a seeker, you know who I am. If you're spoon-fed, you don't. And the problem is I've never cared. And you know this from me. The amount of
I
time
know
that you
it very
drag
well.
me out to events, to network, and I get in some room with someone who keeps their shades on at night, I just can't deal with it. I don't care. And you know the problem is I make too much money already to care.
I know.
This is not a starving, I'm trying to get on situation. And for me, it never has been. I didn't move to New York to make dreams come true. I'm trying to get on. All of those like cliche things that rappers I think are supposed to be doing, I've never done them or had to. So I've never played the game or never cared. I also came up in that generation that was very, very anti the establishment. So as a result of that, we created our own world. And now those worlds have merged and people are wondering why both don't know about me, but I've never stopped to think about it.
Yeah, it's very interesting too because you're a rare example of someone like even me. I'm happy with what I do, but I'm always like, I think somewhat sadly, to be honest, striving for the next thing. I feel like in your case, and you could argue, I guess, that this is to your detriment, but I would actually argue in terms of your mental sanity, it's a benefit. You're pretty if you kept the fans that you have right now and continue to tour the world for those fans you have and make good money, I don't feel that in your heart you feel like something's missing because not everyone knows who you are when you walk down the street.
Nobody else can accept that.
Well, everyone wants you to do more.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yo, so but when are you going to do like the next thing?
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, I'm kind of cool.
I'm like, yeah, I'm super good. Like people really don't understand how super good I am.
I respect this. I love his attitude.
Well, but it's interesting because I've always, my brother and I have always talked about this. Like, if you wanted to go be in a different stratosphere, you could hire a manager, like a bigger manager at this point, do everything they tell you to do, play the games you want to play, and probably get to a whole nother stratosphere. But that's not really the way you would want to live your life, is it?
Well, there's some compromises that would have had to have been made that I never really was willing to make. You know, like, you know me, I'm an MC producer. As early as yesterday, I get emails from all kinds of labels and A&R saying, hey man, been monitoring your career for a while now. What's up with them beats? That's it. Not the rhymes. What's up with the beats? I don't have smoking culture. I don't have tattoo culture. I don't have stripper culture. I don't have party culture. I don't have drinking culture. I don't have a lot of the devices that a lot of rappers who don't actually live real life to have things to talk about. I don't have any of those things to lean on. I just have reality. And that form of reality isn't necessarily the most popular way of making a living in the music industry. And I've never cared.
You know what I thought about doing? I don't even know if I have it on here. I thought about I did this last time when Charles Hamilton was here.
Don't you do this.
I thought about just that record. I have a record that no one else has.
Don't you do this.
You know what I'm talking about?
I hope I don't know what you're talking about. I hope Antoine don't know what you're talking about.
Because you wowed Charles Hamilton. Remember? He didn't even remember. He's like, oh my God, I forgot about this.
Yeah, it's
That's really good.
I forgot about anything I made, period. Like,
it's a J. Cole record that I have on here.
are you really gonna do that? I don't think you should do that, fam.
Yeah, you think I get mad?
I think he would be. I think he would not be okay with that.
Well, I'm gonna hit them up soon because if they're not planning on using it soon, I'm just taking it. Because I don't let good music get wasted.
Did you
for
hear
eternity.
the Kendrick track we did?
No, he never gave me that, and I know that exists also. But maybe that'll happen now.
Do you want to do this?
No, I'm not going to do it now.
I don't think you should do that.
I'm not going to do it, but I do have an awesome.
Well, I want to hear it, so you could let me hear it.
I'll let you hear it, but I do have an awesome J. Cole Oddisee produced record. That said, Oddisee is in the building. The album is out right now. It is called The Good Fight. What is there one main thing that you think people who have not followed along, what's the main thing that people know you from? Is there a thing that most people?
Yeah, it depends. Speaking to J. Cole and like bigger artists than myself, I think they know me from Rock Creek Park, my instrumental album, because a lot of them wrote and recorded songs to those instrumentals. Outside of that, probably Diamond District, first album, In the Rough. And then like just tons of my solo music, just tidbits of it like throughout my whole catalog. People just know me from those things.
And so you've never cared about something like when you work with a J. Cole and you guys do a bunch of music together and you don't see any of it come out. Does any of that, does that frustrate you, or you don't really care that much?
It doesn't frustrate me. I understand how the business works, you know?
That even if they like a song, it just may not work out.
Yeah, I mean, I know in his defense, I think he decided after working with a slew of artists, I think we had done some maybe 4 or 5 songs, maybe 6 at the most, but I know he recorded to some Rock Creek Park tracks as well. But I think he had come to a point where he had decided he wanted to produce the whole album himself, so he dropped all the other stuff. These things happen, you know?
Well, and I guess you can relate to that. You produce your whole album yourself, correct?
Yeah.
So you mentioned that a bunch of labels hit you up asking for beats. Is there certain artists that you how can I put this? Have you ever turned down big artists for some beats?
No,
never.
No,
so you're like, all right, production, here you go.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so you're good with everybody.
Cool, as long as people say that beat was tight. I don't. You
right.
know, that's. I gotta make a living.
Of course. I'm like, damn.
So you wouldn't turn down even if an artist that didn't necessarily match you that well was like, I'm just a big fan and I want something from you. You would try to do it.
Like a French Montana, just random.
Yeah,
French Montana.
I would consider that a challenge. Like, take me outside of my comfort zone. Don't give me a usual suspect. I get more irritated with people who expect me to produce for the quote unquote usual suspects. You should do a track with this person because they're in your world and, you know, I like both of you, therefore you need to both do a track together.
You see it as the opposite.
Yeah, I'd like to be challenged and do something with somebody that I not necessarily don't even listen to.
Right.
You know?
Who's the most random big time person who's reached out to you via social media or something and just shown love that you might have not expected would know you?
I don't even know if it was social media, but recently Aftermath A&R's hit me up to work on to send beats for the Dre documentary. I haven't even done it yet. I've been slipping. I just been on the road. But that was great. That was great. He said, "Oh, I've been watching your career, big fan." I was like, "Really? Whole time?" Like,
yeah. And why are you just reaching out now? You know, I've been around.
This is great. This is great though. This is great. Oh, you know who was it? DL Hewley's a fan of me. Remember the comedian DL?
Of course.
Yeah,
he used to work in our building.
Yeah, he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, me and my daughter, we rock to your music all the time." It's like, what, really? Wow, that's awesome.
I know Macklemore's a big fan.
Yeah, he's reached out to me, you know, slid into the DM like, "Yo, what's up, big fan?" I was like, "Yeah, this is crazy."
Yeah, but the thing is, but the funny part is the reason it's not crazy is because really y'all are from the same school of just underground rappers who are working your way up.
Yeah,
He just
absolutely.
happened to fall into smashes.
Absolutely.
What do you think of? In a weird way, I could point out similarities between you and Ryan Lewis.
Ryan Lewis, you mean
His production?
Oh.
I mean his production on that album. There's a certain big sound.
that
you guys have in common.
I hear what you're saying. A fusion of genres, always deep rooted in one specific style, but you hear these elements of others kind of just incorporated into the production.
What are Oddisee's biggest markets? Where do you do the best?
My highest selling market is California, then New York, then DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And if DC, Maryland, and Virginia was counted as one area on SoundScan, it would probably be number 1. You know, but it counts as 3 separate.
Do you feel that you get your proper love in DC?
Yeah.
100%?
Yeah. As much as DC could give, I get.
Well said.
Absolutely.
That is said by someone who truly knows the DMV.
Yeah.
The amount that's the most they're willing to give is what you get.
Yeah. I've actually seen fans know the words to songs in the crowd and say them, and I could stop and they would keep going. Like that's happened back home.
I wonder what has to have now in all these years that I've been here having conversations with you and having conversations with Wale. At any point have you and Wale had conversations? There's clearly mutual respect, but nothing seems to happen. You're giving me a look.
Yeah, what do you have that smirk?
The look is saying, if Wale likes you as much as he says he does, you're waiting for a phone call from Wale. Is that what that says?
Wale, you are an amazing lyricist. We need to work with each other. I know that Adrian has come to me, Sneaker Man Dan has come to me, Rosenberg has come to me, all saying, yo, Wale's trying to work with you. I had your number. You probably changed yours. My number is still the same. You have my number directly. I'm here, bro. I'm ready. We don't need to go through anybody else. You hit me up and let's work.
See, that's how you're supposed to do it.
There you go.
That's how you're supposed to do it. Because now Wale's gonna be getting the tweets nonstop. Just like, yo,
let's just do this, man.
I know, because
you know me, bro.
I really think that moment would be a big moment for DMV music. I really do.
Absolutely. And I'm tired of getting text messages from you saying, yo, Wale's trying to get up with you when he got my number or can get my number.
Or very easily. No, I agree.
Very easily. I'm the most accessible person on the internet.
Well, I'm not going to go that far. You're somewhat accessible. When you're in the United States, you are hard to get a hold of because, especially the combination of me and you and I are both homebodies who are so both just home with our wives doing nothing, that the combination of that, it can be hard to arrange.
Yeah, but I'm sure Wale can
get it done.
Get to him, yeah.
He could send him the Maybach chopper.
Yo, Macklemore hit me up on a direct message, and we just hung out. You know what I mean? We just chat. Same thing with J. Cole. He knew I was at a show in London that he was at. His manager is Sudanese.
Of course, Ibrahim.
His DJ's manager was Sudanese. They both hit me up.
By the way, Oddisee, of course, is Sudanese. Spends a lot of time in the Sudan.
And saw me there and was like, yo, come through the studio. We was in the studio the next day from 3 to 1 in the morning, just like that. And Wale, we from the same hometown. It's supposed to be like that too.
Yeah.
If you hit me, I'm there.
Boom. You've heard it right there. Talk real quick about Sudan, by the way. It's a very complex place. It's a place that you have a lot of love for, and your family's there, and you spend a lot of time. You have siblings there, parents there.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were in Sudan, and what's it like when you go back to Sudan?
Last time I was in Sudan was it was a year ago. It was May. Yeah, it was May. It's always an interesting thing from going there from a child to here. It's given me so much. I went from having privilege here to going there and seeing extreme poverty. Open sewage, no electricity, using the bathroom in a hole in the ground.
Were you born here?
I was born here.
Okay.
But going back and forth made me understand what to value. So my mother being African American, my father being Sudanese, but my stepmother's Sudanese, and I was raised by my stepmother and my father. It gave me the perspective of being able to look on the outside in and on the inside out. It gave me the perspective of how an immigrant sees America and how a black American sees America, and how they point fingers at each other too, especially growing up in the DMV area where there's a lot of clash between West Africans, East Africans, and African Americans and people from the Caribbean, and those internal clashes. So it just taught me how to view all of those things.
Is there any chance that I could get you to drop a few bars this morning? Because people watching this video may have not seen you spit bars, and I was thinking about it. I remember people have been talking about the bars you spit in my living room 8 years ago, bruh.
That's online?
Yeah, it's online.
We're gonna do this.
I mean, come on. I just think.
Come on, Oddisee.
I can play. You want me to play something commercial and random?
That's fine, bro. You can keep that on.
Let's see what Oddisee's got. His new album, The Good Fight, is out right now. It's Real Late Hot 97. DMV, stand up.
Yeah. Gonna put me on the spot.
Let's go, oh. Come on, man. You're a rapper,
let's
too.
address some things then. Okay. Yeah. You ever try to bring some people with you to a place you're trying to get to, and all along the way as you cut a clearing, they sharpen and stick sparing to get you and throw it at a rate that is faster than they'll forget you? I got a couple around me surrounding this very moment. For not, I'm in the know of exactly who holds the pistol. Well, here's the message for you if you listening. I am the one that gave you the gun, that's why you missing, and you'll continue to until you injure you. I gave you your start. The shit remarks will only injure you. Now go play your part. As I watch know-it-alls try to roll with the arc, they're going nowhere, knowing no one was smart. Probably not, cause who really learn their lessons. Not mad from their own perceptions, just mad cause they had in possession of holding weapons. Toss that burner, and no further are you from a loss that turns you to a cause. Self-murder. I'm done.
I mean, this man can rap bars.
Yo, I want to see him perform live with his band. Woo!
Oh, it's good.
It's
good.
I want to come through.
I'm being dead ass.
It's good.
Tonight, Knitting Factory, Cinco de Mayo vibes. I'm telling you right now, you are, I mean, listen, I don't like to gas you up because we know each other too well, but you are one of the best live performers in hip hop that we've ever had, in my opinion.
Thank you very much,
That's
Peter.
big for you to say, Peter.
By the way, I for the record said on Instagram the other day. I said Oddisee is straight up one of the best artists in rap today. Now, does that mean that you're going to be everyone's cup of tea? No.
Nah.
I played him earlier from Marissa Mendez, who minutes before that was playing Fetty Wap, and she looked at me and she was like, "What are we listening to?" There are some people who are going to say that.
Yeah.
But for those of us who have a certain love of music, and by the way, I'm not talking about boom bap, right?
Yeah,
so a friend
music.
A friend the other day said, I said, "Yo, you gotta check out this new Oddisee," and he was like, "Real hip hop?" And I was like, nah. It sounds weird, but I was like, nah, yes, of course it's real hip hop, but not what you're thinking. Not some traditional boom bap drums from 1996. It's actually very progressive.
Bro, you nailed it. It's real music.
It's just real music.
It's real music. This is not beats and rhymes. It's not, oh, the flow is tight and the beats is tight. It's the music. There's no other genre that stripped down the instrumentation and the vocals. You just like the song or you don't like the song.
Right.
And I'm done with that. There's a level of musicality in this record that you either get it or you don't. There's chord progressions that are not traditional in the music. There's time signatures in 5/4. It's music.
I think I really do think this is going to be the album that pushes you to another place. I really do. I'm very hopeful.
Whatever place you trying to push me to, Peter.
Another place that you don't want to go to, but no, honestly, here's the place. Here's the only place I see for you, because I no longer sit there and be like, oh, Oddisee needs a commercial record. But what I would like to see, doing the music the way you've been doing it, not changing at all, you still should be getting the late night appearances and you should be getting the festival appearances without any sort of change.
Shouldn't I be getting a Hennessy Soulful billboard like somewhere too? I should be getting that too.
Yes, Laura, can you get him a Hennessy billboard? Laura will talk to
I don't even drink, but I like a Hennessy billboard. Aloe Black got one. Why can't I have one?
By the way, isn't that funny? I remember hanging out with Aloe Black outside like Fat Beats in LA.
You know what I'm saying?
Like 8 years ago. Now he's got billboards everywhere.
Right.
Yo, Oddisee, The Good Fight is out right now. Thank you for coming by, bro.
Yo, thank you, man. I appreciate it.